Okay, this is my response to different things I've seen Bill Maher say on television, on YouTube, from the clips and this kind of stuff. First of all, he mocks abstinence pledges. He jokes that statistics show that they're more likely to get in a sexual accident or intercourse if they abstain from intercourse, or they don't abstain from intercourse at all. One thing liberals like him need to make up their mind, because conservatives get upset and they call them sluts. So liberals get defensive and say, I'm not a slut, I'm not bashing virginity, I'm just saying it doesn't work or whatever. It's like liberals need failure. And I've made this point in other videos of mine. They say teen sex is 60%. Well, then why is it that we have to emulate the failure? Why don't we look at the 40% that it works for and have the 60% emulate them? You know, it's a fallacy, because it does work for a lot of people, and we should focus on the people it works for and emulate that to fix the problem. And it has nothing to do with, oh, you're human, because that's radical humanism, because it implies that boinking is hardwired into all of us, which means there's no free will, which is garbage, because we're not just robots. Um, on Larry King, he said that at the time the Bible was written, people didn't know of the germ or the atom, referring to science and all kind of stuff. That's a ridiculous and moot point, because the moon can be made of green cheese and 2 plus 2 can equal 5, but it's still wrong to rape a woman or be a racist. So the idea that science and morality are super directly related is a joke, and he was presupposing himself, because he was saying just because the book is old it means it's wrong. It's not true. The whole premise behind the Bible is that it is the Word of God written through people. And he didn't address that at all. It's an old book, but it doesn't mean it's false. It's just old. In fact, it's an assertion of mine that truth is absolute, because if you say truth is relative, that's an absolute. You're saying that truth is an absolute, that truth is relative. So you can't have relative truth on that premise. That's why moral relativism, or saying that truth is an absolute, is a contradictory statement. In his movie Religulous, he said, religion must die so humanity can survive. No matter what you do, you have a value system, and that value system is your religion. You can call it your supreme denominator by which you regard the universe, but it's still, whatever you want to call it, it's still that value system, that final denominator. There's no such thing as religion dying, because you would have to not be alive or not think, be comatose or something, not to have some sort of religion you're pulling from your day-to-day life. He said, we can't afford these wars anymore. One of the wars he mentioned we can't afford anymore is a culture war. Bill, what the hell are you talking about? What are you going to do? Prevent people from having differences of opinion? I mean, it's freedom of speech. That's a free society. Of course we're going to have a cultural war. Of course we're going to argue about morality and religion and sex and boinking and this slut whore pop culture that we have. I mean, of course we're going to argue. Alan Keyes was on his show, and at the very last second, right when it went to the commercial and the show ended, Alan Keyes said about being honest and having honesty in the White House and stuff in regards to Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton is slime. And Bill Maher said to Keyes, "You ran your campaign on complete honesty. How far did that get you?" And everybody went, "Whoa!" and then it just cut off. Why would Bill say that Alan Keyes was being honest? Because Bill Maher is a liberal, Alan Keyes is a right-wing conservative, so it's like I would think he would call him a liar. And what is this? You want slime, you're embracing slime, and you're bowing down to something that seems to be a constant when it doesn't have to be. It looks like only the slime gets in office, at least with Bill Clinton. So what do? You bow down to that? I mean, you don't look at slavery being legal and say, well, let's just keep slavery, we can't change anything. And liberals are supposed to be the ones who are these hardcore innovationists and these dynamic motivators and all this stuff to kill this and kill that and get rid of all this evil and all this kind of stuff. But whenever it comes to today, they just look at pretty much any evil in the world and bow down to it. Chaotic idealism, what I call. This is chaotic idealism. Conservatives are accused of being idealists. I call liberals chaotic idealists. They say and admit we live in an imperfect universe, but they expect imperfections to fall perfectly in line. I mean, if you're going to start saying that only slime can get into power and you have to tolerate Bill Clinton with his lies and his affairs and all that, then anything goes. You can have any piece of slime, any corrupt piece of trash in the White House, and according to that logic, you shouldn't complain. It's idiotic. And he called the Bible a fairy tale. This was really ridiculous in his part. He said, there's a poison apple in the Bible, there's one in Snow White. Would you be able to tell the difference if Jack and the Beanstalk was written as a book in the Bible and you gave it to kids and all this stuff? Presupposing yourself. Just because the story is old doesn't mean it's wrong. Which blows my mind. So, there you go. That's my rant against Bill Maher.